Wow. Thank you, Administrator Cash. And, I thought it's so appropriate that you had us all be still. Where you were? Okay. That you had us be still for a moment. Several months ago, I had the honor for the first time of organizing with Indigenous leaders who often refer to themselves as water protectors. And it was just so reinforcing and an important reminder. This is restorative. It's healing. It's beautiful. It's spiritual. And so what an incredible moment. And I have long time been a believer that the best collaborations are those which are community driven and government endorsed. And this project is so symbolic of that symbiotic partnership and relationship. And so in the same way that very apropos, Senator, that you would say they persisted, you know something about that.
I did.
She persisted. So I do want to just give it up to Kathleen and Ian and Vivian and the many others that are here. And I was speaking with Congressman Lynch as we were convening, and I was talking about just what a long haul this has been, and how I hope in many ways that this renews and restores and fortifies people's faith in government and what is possible with persistence and collaboration. And we were naming all the electeds who had been a part of this before. And so I do just want to take a moment, and I had said to her earlier that this was a part of her legacy, and I want to acknowledge Senator Linda Dorsina-Forey.
Yes.
Representative Consalvo.
Yes.
Ann Fluker Oakley. Congressman Lynch. And of course, Madam Mayor Michelle Wu. Thank you for your leadership, Mayor Wu, and your commitment to a Green New Deal for Boston and your pursuit of environmental justice for Boston residents. Again, it feels good to be in the 7th. I'm proud to join you all here today as the EPA announces that it will include the lower Neponset River in the Superfund National Priorities List. This action, and this is the word du jour, will transform the river, improve its ecological health, and reduce the risk of health hazards for surrounding communities. Today's action by the EPA is the result of years of work by grassroots organizers and advocacy groups who fought for both a review and the removal of contamination from this river that runs through my district. No one should have to live, work, or go to school near a contaminated site, and communities across the Massachusetts 7th and our country simply cannot afford to wait any longer for the protections that they deserve. 70% of our nation's Superfund sites are within 1 mile of public housing, posing serious health and reproductive risks to Black, brown, and low-income communities primarily. Communities like Dorchester, Hyde Park, and Mattapan that by no coincidence are home to many of our lowest income Black and brown siblings. This is what we mean when we say environmental racism. And that is why I say that policy is my love language, because if we can legislate hurt and harm and inequity, we can legislate health. We can legislate equity. We can legislate justice. And again, none of these injustices happened overnight. They're the result of generations of intentional policy violence and chronic disinvestment. We know that to combat decades of environmental racism, we must prioritize environmental justice, which is intrinsically linked to racial, health, and economic justice. Now is the time, and I'm so glad this is our mayor to do that work, to advance bold policies and budgets that invest in our communities to undo decades of injustice and to affirm our fundamental right to drink clean water, to breathe clean air, and to live in clean and safe communities. Policies like the Green New Deal or the investments in the president's Build Back Better agenda, which we have not given up on, to be clear, and we are still fighting to deliver. So I am grateful for the opportunity to be here with all of you community leaders, with my partners in government at every level, to ensure that we continue to work on behalf of our most vulnerable and marginalized communities. This is truly an incredible day in the neighborhood. So thank you again to all of our partners. And now I will turn it back to the administrator.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.